Hello everyone, it's Lee here from LTS Sports TV. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I made a video, so I'm really pleased to be back. And today I'm bringing you my West Ham 1-11. This is players that I have seen, so your Billy Bonds, your Bobby Moores, your Trevor Brookins, who unfortunately I didn't get to see. My dad's told me all about them though, and I've obviously seen clips and things. They would obviously make your all-time West Ham 1-11s. But they're not in my team today, which is made up of players that I have seen in the last 30 odd years. So without further ado, let's kick straight in. A lot of these players are actually from the Harry Redknapp era. It's when I had my first season ticket at West Ham. Played some amazing football in those days. It was just this buzz around Upton Park. You never thought we was going to lose a home match. We used to play so well, and and my team sort of reflects that era. But there's one or two others thrown in as well, and a couple of really difficult choices actually. Let's start with the goalkeeper. It was 50-50 between Robert Green, who was a great servant for West Ham before he left. Had some amazing matches for us, but he's actually been pipped by Shaka Hislop. I have some great memories of Shaka in goal. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. Got two spells at West Ham. Second one, he obviously played in the cup final in 2006. But my memories of him from his first spell in sort of late 90s, early 2000s. And one of my greatest memories of him is him saving Gareth Southgate's penalty in that League Cup quarter final, which we ended up having to replay and lose. That was such a roller coaster of emotions, that match. The game itself was fantastic. It went to penalties. We went 2-1 down right towards the end, and then Di Canio popped up to score, and it went to penalties and we won. Delighted. And waking up the next day, I actually remember it quite well. I was on my lunch break in school and hearing the news that we'd played an illegible player, and the game would have to be replayed. And obviously we ended up losing thanks to Ian Taylor, who always used to score against us in those days. But Shaka Hislop is my goalkeeper. Formation wise, probably a good time to put this in now. I'm going three at the back. On the left side, it's Julian Dix, of course it is. The Terminator is also my captain in this side. Just great memories again, 100% effort every match. Brilliant penalty taker. Often played as a left back, but to fit in the players I wanted to fit in, I've had to go 3 centre halves. So Julian Dix plays left centre half. In the middle of the back three is Ian Pearce. Another one who used to pop up. In fact, I remember him playing as a striker in some matches when we was desperate, but always used to pop up with a goal. Again, great defender, give it 100%. Had some bad injuries in his career, but it didn't seem to affect him too much apart from his pace. But very good footballing brain, and so he's in the centre of the three, and on the right it's called Rio Ferdinand. Not many surprises there, I don't think. At the time, I don't think I realised that we had the best one. The player that would go on to be the best English centre half of his era, him and John Terry maybe. But I think Ferdinand just pips it for the things that he won as a player. Just an outstanding footballer. I remember him playing at wing back in a couple of matches. Coventry City at home, he was playing at wing back until he got an injury. He was bombing up and down the right hand side. Yeah, great player, and that's my back three. Special mentions. Again, all from the same era. Igor Stimac, I was a big fan of him, and Javier Margues, who I think Harry Redknapp's told a lot of stories about how mad he is. But again, very good centre half. Only played for us for a couple of seasons, but you know, dyed his hair claret and blue for one match. Bit of a mad one, but again a great player. So that's my back three: Dix, Ian Pearce, and Rio Ferdinand. Onto the midfield. So. So it's 3 central midfielders. So the 2 holding ones are Michael Carrick and Scott Parker. Very different players. Carrick, we had him as a youngster obviously, and again, what a player. An eye for a pass. He used to have a terrible scoring and shooting record. Never scored that many for West Ham, but I mean, just have to look the player he's turned into. Again, the things that he's won. A number of England caps. Even now, when fit, he seems to be the first choice in that sort of holding midfield role. When we had him, great player, great passer. He was part of a three in midfield, of course, Carrick, Lampard and one other, who I'll come on to in a bit. I was going to put Frank Lampard in the team. Obviously, he's not very popular with West Ham fans now, but he did score a lot of goals for us, and you can say what you like, but he scored a lot of goals and he's gone on. He's had a fantastic career. But the player I have put in the team is Scotty Parker. Again, a player who left under a bit of a cloud. If he'd gone to any other club, I don't think it would have been as bad. But he went to Tottenham, and at that stage in his career, where he was one of the best central midfielders in the Premiership, playing for England as well, he had to move on. He couldn't play in the Championship. Always gave it all, and I think if you look at where his career is now, I think West Ham to blame. They completely knackered him out. He played so many matches, and he carried that team for a couple of seasons, and it's a shame that his career has sort of gone downwards quite quickly. But again, won at West Ham, scored some vital goals. And number one, Middlesbrough away, he got us the winner. Of course, he's got that stunner against Wigan, which got a safety for that season in Zola's last year. It went down the following season, that's when he left. But even in that year, he got named the Player of the Season by the press, the PFA, by the press, and just showed that for a player to get relegated and to win that award says a lot, really. So two wingers on the left. I've gone for Maddie Etherington. Again, a player that typical winger, really, in and out of games, but went on form. He was electrifying, scored some fabulous goals for West Ham, and then was going a hat-trick actually against Wimbledon in the Championship. Again, really good player, fantastic crosser. If you was Andy Carroll, you'd love to have a Matty Etherington playing in the side alongside you. Always found his man with him, of course, popped up with goals. Seems to be quite a big West Ham fan now, following on Twitter. Again, a great player, so he's in the side on the left. On the right-hand side, I think he actually played on the left most of his career for West Ham, but Trevor Sinclair. Again, he had about 5-6 seasons with us. It's just trickery and amazing goals are just 3 words to describe Trevor Sinclair. He used to link up brilliantly with Di Canio, and the goals he scored one against Charlton. I think it was on Boxing Day one year. He sort of kneed it up in the air and volleyed it. Absolutely out of this world. He obviously did that amazing overhead kick for QPR as well. Again, another one that left when we got relegated under Roda, which was a shame. But he still went on and played for Man City and Cardiff, among others. Great player on the wing, very tricky. Again, another one who's played up front in his career and always popped up with goals. I remember being a debut against Everton and he scored 2. It's not really surprising to say we didn't win that match. It ended 2-2. We never beat Everton. So that's my two wingers, Etherington and Sinclair. Behind the striker is Joey Cole. More for his first spell than his second player in the side to have 2 spells at West Ham. When he burst onto the scene, linking up with Sinclair, Di Canio, Cole, he had Lampard, even Scotty Minto playing wing back. It was frightening. Every time we bombed forward in those days, there would just be this buzz around Upton Park. You're thinking something's going to happen. And, a lot of the time we did. We scored a lot of goals in those days. So, Joey Cole in behind the striker, fed in lovely balls into my 2 strikers. And the one was absolute no-brainer. He's my absolute hero. He's my favourite West Ham player of all time. Paolo Di Canio, I've already mentioned him for his link-up with Trevor Sinclair. But this guy was just out of this world. If you're one of our younger viewers, I'm sure you've heard or probably seen clips of Di Canio. This guy, the things he could do with a football, I just think he should have played at a higher level. He had a decent career. He played Premier League football. He played for Celtic. He could have played for the top teams in Italy, I think. Bit of a nutcase again. Got a couple of them in the team. But my word, he was just magical. Every time he got the ball, like I say, there was this buzz. It's like he had a little string. He'd sort of take players on effortlessly. And as I say, he had a bit of a reputation as well. But that's not to say that he was, in my generation, I think the best player I've ever had at our club, and we were lucky to have him at West Ham. Alongside him was a tough one, because it was hard to think of another striker to put in the team, and one that jumps to mind is the one I put in, is Carlos Tevez, and I was loathed to put him in the team because it was for such a short amount of time, but the impact he had in those last 10 matches at West Ham was phenomenal, really, for a player to be massively overweight, completely out of the side, to come in towards the end of that season under Kirbishley and to score the goals that he did. That free kick against Tottenham, again, what a rollercoaster of emotions that day was. And the other goals, and then to cap it all off, scoring the winner at Old Trafford to keep us up. So really, for that reason alone, it's Tevez up front alongside Di Canio. So just to recap, on my side, Shaka Hislop in goal, back three of Julian Dix, Ian Pearce, Rio Ferdinand. Midfield left to right is Effrington, Carrick, Parker, Sinclair, Joey Cole behind Tevez and Di Canio. Captain Julian Dix. Manager is another difficult one because we haven't had success since I've been watching West Ham. Obviously, I don't think we've ever won the Intertoto Cup. I'm going to put Alan Pardew in. Big fan of Pardew. I thought he was harshly treated towards the end of his West Ham career, and I'm pleased to see that he's having a good go at Palace now, and he's really liked by the fans after a bad spell at Newcastle. So Pardew would be my manager. So that's my West Ham 1 to 11 plus manager. It'd be great to hear yours. Send us in a tweet or comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'd love to see more people subscribing. It's slowly climbing. Have a debate with us on Twitter. Have a go at Richard Keys, the guy who hates West Ham. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And I will see you very soon. Bye for now.